Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to All About Skin. I'm glad you're here. I'm grateful that you stopped by today. So I'm going to show you today how to do a micropeel treatment. This is a combination of a microneedling treatment with a chemical peel added on after. It's a really intense treatment. It's incredible, and I absolutely love this treatment. It's one of my favorites. So this first step, we're doing a double cleanse, of course, as always. This cleanser is the Ageless cleanser from Image Skincare. The reason I chose this cleanser for this particular person is because she has some pigmentation. She's also combination skin. So the Ageless line from Image is really good for those who have combination, even aging, dry acne a little bit here and there. It's got more active acids in the cleansers and in the ingredients of the serum. So I really like this as our first cleanse to remove all the makeup, all the extra dirt, all the debris that we kind of left over from when she first came in. So it's a good cleanser to start with. I also like it because it preps her skin to get ready for that micropeel treatment. This cleanser is a pH balancer, which gets your skin at a perfect pH level to do a more intense treatment. So I really like the effects of this cleanser. I am actually going to purchase it for myself for my own home care because I really love the ingredients and the way that it has all those active ingredients, but it doesn't strip the skin of its natural oils. It doesn't make it more dry. It's very healthy for the skin. So first cleanse, this is in real time. I wanted to actually just show you exactly what this treatment actually looks like. And I like to include some real-time clips so that you can see everything that's happening in real time. So I hope this video is helpful for you. Please comment below if you have any questions or concerns. I'm always here to help you guys. So for your cleansing, you want to be sure, especially for a more intense treatment like a micropeel, you want to make sure to wear gloves. This is a personal preference of mine. I don't necessarily think it's bad to not wear gloves when you do your cleansing. So that's going to be a personal preference for you. I like to wear gloves because I just want to make sure that their skin is very healthy, very prepped for a micropeel. And then when I put their products on after the chemical peel's over, then I can take those gloves off. So it's just a personal preference thing. You don't have to do it this way. For your double cleansing, you want to make sure that your towel is not lukewarm, not cold, but a nice warm to hot temperature. Again, we don't want to scald the skin. We don't want to create too much heat. Too much heat will create a sensitivity in the skin. So we want to make sure it's the absolute perfect temperature. So right in between warm and hot. So as you can see, I'm removing the cleanser, starting from the forehead, going down the sides of the temples, down the nose. Make sure to really get in I call it the nose crack, where your nostrils are. So make sure to really get that cleanser off. And as you can see, I couldn't help but extract a couple of things that I saw right off the bat. You know how I am. I can't help myself. So yeah. And again, I like to wrap the towel around one of my hands and then use it to get the cheeks and down the jaw just a little bit, just to make sure we're really getting the cleanser completely removed. All right, so our next step here, this is a really important step. This is our extraction phase. This is where, of course, we go in and we get all the gunk out. This is a very uncomfortable step for your clients, so please make sure that you are checking in with them often and making sure that they are obviously, they're not going to be in their comfort zone, right? But we don't want them jumping off the table and never coming back to see you again. So we have to find that perfect balance between recognizing, yes, obviously, look at this girl. She's very uncomfortable. She's laughing instead of crying, kind of a thing. But you will notice that people that do have acne, they are more prone to being okay with extractions. They accept the cost of extractions because they really are struggling mentally and emotionally with the acne they have. It's kind of one of those things. If you don't really know what acne does to the self-esteem, to your well-being, unless you've been through it yourself, which I have. So I can honestly say it is a very emotionally draining thing to experience. You literally feel like completely ugly no matter what you do. Whether you put makeup on, whether you leave your makeup off, you feel so ugly and you feel heavy. Like your skin's never going to get better. It's never going to change, and your skin's always going to have these issues. But I always tell my clients, thank you, my scalp is beautiful right there. Nice camera there. But I always tell my clients, especially during this part, we have some laughs and giggles, of course, but I also like to get a little more serious with them and let them know it doesn't have to stay this way. I know this is a painful process for you, but it's more painful to them to have the acne on their face. So they are willing to go through this. So you'll see what I'm talking about when you have more acneic clients. But a couple of tricks that I want you to keep in mind is the rule of 3. So if I am unable to extract some acne within 3 different points of pressure, then I probably need to move on. Now, obviously, there's other tools you can implement. For example, I can use a lancet. A lancet is a wonderful tool. It allows you to create a tiny little poke into the acne, and what that does is it creates an escape for that pressure that's inside of the pustule. So it's a really, really nice way to make it so you don't have to put as much pressure, because that pressure is released from that little poke that you made with the lancet. So I didn't have to use a lancet on her today, but really awesome, cheap tool that you guys can purchase to make extractions a little bit easier for your client, especially right around her mouth. At this particular moment, she's got these little bumps that are underneath the skin, and most people have them. They're not quite milia. They're closed comedones, which means they haven't seen oxygen. So they're kind of like whiteheads that haven't surfaced or haven't gone to the surface of the skin. So it's really important that we use a lancet on these. However, since I am well versed in extractions, I didn't need a lancet because, practice makes permanent. That's what I like to call it. Not practice makes perfect. That's not it at all. Practice makes permanent. Keep that in mind when you are practicing. So again, these when you extract these are like stringy little whiteheads that come out of the surface of the skin. Really, really important to get that out. Those have to really do with your diet. And diet is directly connected to the skin, as I've said a million times. So at this point, we are now going to go into our second cleanse. So we've finished our extractions. I'm going to be using the Vital C Hydrating Cleanser from Image Skincare. This cleanser is a wonderful cleanser. I liked to do this one after extractions just to soothe things down a little bit. Make sure the things that I did extract were, not so irritated. We calm things down with a vitamin C, and as well as making sure that we are cleaning up any oils or any extra bacteria that was released from the extractions. This is a great time to make sure to double cleanse again. So I'm going to go ahead and put some music on, and I'll come back in just a few minutes. So as you can see, this technique that I'm using right here, I like to call this gorilla fingers. I literally curl my fingers up and I do this little dancing move with my fingers, and it really is relaxing for your client. I really love that technique. Practice it on your own self, practice it on your clients, get everything. Use those gorilla fingers. That's one of my most favorite and loved techniques. So this next step, this is where we're actually going to start the microneedling treatment. I'm not going to show you the entire microneedling treatment, but I'm going to show you little clips here. So what I like to do, we started at a 1.5 and then I decided to go a little bit deeper. This is real time, just so you know, so you can see the tempo that I'm going. Please, if you are not comfortable with your pressure and the way you're holding your pen, to not go back and forth just yet like I'm doing here. Go ahead and go one direction at a time. That way you can get control of your pen. I like to start at the forehead, and as you can see when I move my hand, there is some redness and pinpoint bleeding. This is perfect. This is what we are looking for. The collagen is being stimulated. Your brain is responding with immunity cells, repair cells, collagen and elastin to strengthen those. And we're literally tricking your brain into thinking that we're tricking your brain into thinking that your skin is injured in a small way. So your brain is responding to that. So we just use, our body's natural healing system to our advantage. It's an incredible treatment. So you can see how beautiful and even and red that forehead looks. That's exactly what we're looking for. We do not want track marks. If you do have track marks, you are pressing too hard. The trick with the pen is a light to medium pressure without pushing into the skin necessarily. We're just kind of barely touching the skin. The tip of the needle has this circle kind of shape. Make sure the circle is connected to the skin at all times on all parts of that circle, okay? That's my little trick for that. This next step is our chemical peel step. I chose the Perfection Lift from Image Skincare. This has salicylic acid in it. So this is one of their most exciting chemical peels. And as you can see her expression, she is very uncomfortable. So you can slightly see the change that's happening into her skin. It's getting a little more red, and we're seeing more distinct lines from where we microneedled and where we didn't. But again, as you can see, it's even. It's all one color, and that's what we're looking for. Obviously, if she has more issues in one area, I'd want to get that area a little bit more red, which is what I'm doing through here with her through her cheeks and her chin, and a little bit on her forehead as well. But really practice your application of the chemical peel. You want to make sure that it's evenly applied throughout the entire face. And I like to leave that chemical peel on this one is a BHA, so you would leave it on, but since I did it with a microneedling treatment, I decided to just remove it a tiny bit with a towel. And you want to make sure to cool that towel off before you place it on the skin. You don't ever want to put a searing hot towel over a chemical peel. That is really irritating and frankly reactivates the chemical peel and increases its intensity. So we really need to make sure that we're using a lukewarm, maybe a little bit cool of a towel. And as you can see, I'm pretending to pick her nose here. Sometimes you have to have fun with your client. And when you know that they're okay with that kind of jokes, go ahead and make some jokes with them. It's fun. So again, I'm going back over, just like how we removed the cleanser, I'm going over the exact same way, but just with a little less pressure. Obviously, her skin's irritated. I don't want to go back in and re-irritate it more, okay? So this is just the same thing with the cleanser when I remove it, but just less pressure. This is another little trade secret of mine. I like to take a white sponge and leave most of the water inside the sponge, and as I go across her skin, I'm literally squeezing the water barely out onto her skin. And what that does is that since the water is more alkaline than the chemical peel, that is going to stop that chemical peel from working. In other words, neutralize that chemical peel, which is what we are looking for. Now, I didn't entirely remove the peel because it is a BHA, but I did remove most of it. So what I like to do now before we do the Hydro Jelly Mask is the part 2 of the Glymed Serum. Any serum that you put underneath the Hydro Jelly masks will be pushed deeper into the skin. So it's important that you use a serum that is most effective for the treatment and for their skin type. So I sped this part up just a little bit. I like to use gauze or some tissue paper just to protect the towels and make sure that the Hydro Jelly Mask doesn't get into their hair. It's a really important part, and it also creates that beautiful thickness on the edge so that it creates that vacuum seal to push the products and serums deeper into the skin. And as you mix this, don't be afraid to get into it. We really need to make sure that all those clumps are gone. And as we apply this, you'll see that I just dropped a big plop on top of her forehead. That's funny. I just said big plop. That's hilarious. But what I'm doing here is I'm creating a nice thick outer edge and making sure it's all even. That's what we're looking for. If I have thin pieces for the Hydro Jelly Mask, it's not going to peel off in one piece. So you see those beautiful Instagram videos of the Estemax Hydro Jelly Mask where it all peels off in one layer. The reason it's able to do that is because it's all even and it's all equal in thickness. Now, of course, I do want those edges to just be a little bit thicker. We don't want to pick at our client's skin because there's leftover Hydro Jelly Mask on them. So again, if that does happen to you, just use the wet sponge and slightly scrub the excess off. This next portion, as I've always said, this is the most important part of your services. The massage part is how you connect with your client. So I do have a link listed below if you are wondering how to start off your massage techniques. I have a beginner video for you to watch, so just click down that link below. It's a very simple tutorial, very beginner friendly. So if you are interested in that, go ahead and click down there. But I like to leave this mask on for about at least 15 minutes, sometimes up to 30 minutes if we've got the time. But I did speed this part up because I do have a separate video. But make your client relax, help them to kind of come back down from the intensity of the previous treatment. And again, this mask, I chose the Sika Scar Treatment Mask. I chose that mask because she has some scar tissue that needed some healing and she needed hydration. And for this last few steps, I added the Power Serum and the Hyaluronic Acid Filler Serum from Image. Combining those two together, vitamin C and hyaluronic acid, is a powerful, powerful healing ingredients. Vital C to help brighten, to help with pigmentation and hydration, and an extra natural layer of UVA, UVB protectant, and the hyaluronic acid to bind water to the cells to help with healing and to plump the skin back up. So it's a beautiful, beautiful combination. This next step is going to be the Comfort Cream from Glymed. This is also a perfect moisturizer for after a micropeel treatment. It has a lot of healing ingredients. It's very soothing, very calming. It's not going to increase your skin's activity, but actually decrease it. We want to bring the skin back down to normal. Because we heightened it a little bit. We made it excited. So now we put on ingredients that are healing and soothing and restore the pH back to normal. This is a really important part. We want to use intense ingredients at first, and then afterwards we come in with those hydrating and relaxing ones. And then, of course, I love the balancing eye cream from the Ormedic line from Image Skincare. This is wonderful for deep hydration under the eyes to help with puffiness or tiredness, or skin that just needs antioxidants and vitamins back into the eye area. This Cell Balm is incredible. I love this stuff. If you've heard of the term called slugging, this is a great product that is a professional brand or professional product that will help with that slugging. Most people use Aquaphor or they use Vaseline. I don't necessarily like using those. I feel like it blocks the skin from getting oxygen while you are wearing that Vaseline at night. So this gives you that after effect or that slugging effect without blocking anything. So it's a great option. And of course, our last step is sunscreen. This is the Hydrating Moisturizer Sunscreen from Image Skincare. I really, really like this one because it is a little bit thicker, so I know her skin's going to be protected, and it also has a lot of hydrating properties. So we are getting a lot of moisture here. Her skin, after that micropeel, is now open and ready to receive those ingredients. So it's a good time to layer a few products on, that as long as they're comfortable with that. Anyway, that is the end of the treatment. Please comment below if you have any questions, and I do appreciate you stopping by. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.